Pierre Poilievre, who's one of the new conservatives in Canada, with a spine like Danielle Smith, who's giving Trudeau hell, and justly so.
I'm pissed. I'm absolutely angry.
Alberta's premier did not hold back, reacting to Ottawa's latest draft regulations on greenhouse gases.
This is not responsible policy. This is a vendetta. Like, he has a deranged vendetta against Alberta.
It's a sad scenario, and I wish Danielle Smith plenty of luck in Alberta as she's trying to take on the federal government. She's a tough cookie and a reliable person as far as I'm concerned, and Pierre Poilievre and his Conservatives are going to demolish the Liberals. They might not even exist as a political party. They're right now in third place after the NDP.
We have a weak Prime Minister who's lost control of everything. He's lost control of the borders, lost control of immigration, and lost control of spending.
Pierre he's got his rough edges and he's got sharp teeth, and someone like that is necessary, but he's also maturing very rapidly into his role. I really like his wife, and he's got an actual family instead of the pretend family that our friend Justin had, and it's not a facade or a lie like Justin's whole life.
We see the lengths to which the Conservative leader will go to not talk about the fact that we are proposing a tax break for Canadians over the coming months, because he's going to vote against that.
With any luck, there'll be no Liberals left. And I hope that I've had something to do with that, because they richly deserve it.
Jordan Peterson critiques Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's leadership, highlighting his incompetence and the resulting political turmoil in Canada. He expresses concern that the incoming leader, Pierre Poilievre, will inherit a significant mess due to Trudeau's failures. Peterson points out the inefficiency and corruption within the Canadian government, suggesting that many issues are yet to be uncovered.
The problem is we're going to find out in Canada that things are a lot worse than we thought, because I'm sure that Trudeau is so spectacularly incompetent that there's endless discoveries of corruption and idiocy to be unveiled. And I'm afraid for Pierre Poilievre that he's going to be left with a terrible mess and will immediately be blamed by the remnants of the legacy media. And so, with any luck, next October, Canada will flip hard, and much harder than the United States has. Obviously Trump won a spectacular victory, but it's still about a 50-50 split in the United States. Whereas in Canada, it's going to go 90-10.
Last week, Jordan Peterson appeared on Fox News' One Nation and shared his perspective on Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's apparent shift in stance on immigration and related policies.
Well, he's changing his tone because the policies that he put in place, which demolished the Canadian immigration system, threw the borders wide open, upending decades of effective immigration policy in Canada, have caused a catastrophic crisis in the country. You could see that he was blaming that on educational institutions and bad corporate actors, and that's exactly typical of him and his 14-year-old mentality. Everything that's gone wrong on the immigration front in Canada is 100% attributable to Justin Trudeau and his pack of demented minions. So now it's gone so badly in Canada that he has no choice but to reverse course. And then to see him flailing around to find someone to blame is exactly as pathetic as you'd expect from someone like him. Immaturity, which is like the hallmark of Trudeau. He's so immature. He looks like a 14-year-old. It's no wonder he was like, I learned this when I was a therapist. I learned to look at people to see how old they were psychologically. I learned how to see how old people were. And I swear, this is not a personal slur. Trudeau is somewhere between 13 and 15, and that's not good when you're 50. He was at a Taylor Swift concert the other day, non-ironically handing out friendship bracelets while Montreal burned.
Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has come under fire for attending a Taylor Swift concert while violent and destructive protests were underway in Montreal.
It's not acceptable. He was the pretty boy of the progressive movement, and he's going to get his comeuppance, but I'm afraid as a wounded narcissist that he's going to do plenty of damage. The country doesn't deserve a leader as spectacular as he is, and he's certainly going to show that to everyone in this last year of his rule, because he'll take his revenge. He will take his revenge. Montreal's a great city.
let's accept that now there are riots there all the time, and that's Justin Trudeau's fault, and that's because he's a scum rat, and hopefully when Canadians wise up, as they are rapidly next October, because he'll last that long, because Jagmeet Singh, who's like the world's worst political weasel, and that's a hard contest to win.
Jordan Peterson has also a lot to say about his favorite Canadian politician, Jagmeet Singh.
Is propping him up because he's a coward, he's a corrupt, posturing, narcissistic, power-mad. He's got all of Trudeau's faults and none of his virtues. And given that Trudeau is like 85% fault and 15% virtue, if that, then Justin Singh is quite the catastrophic monster. To think of him as a leader of the working class is something so preposterous that it could only occur in today's political situation.
Corrupted bastard. Want to say something? What? Want to say something? Say nothing? Who said that? You got something to say?
I didn't say corrupted bastard, but I
said... Is that what you said?
No, I did not say that.
Who said it?
Who said that? Somebody behind me said that.
Was it me? Was it you? No. You sure? If it was me, I'd admit it, buddy. Was it you or not? If it was me, I'd admit it. What'd you say then? I didn't say nothing. It wasn't me. It was a gentleman behind me, I guess. Who is it then?
Singh cozying up to the Liberals, constantly supporting them, even though he publicly proclaimed that he wouldn't, or that he'd stopped, only to guarantee his pension, which is exactly what's happening. So, yeah, he's despicable.
Who is it then? Point it out. I have no idea who it was, buddy. My word. You sure it's not you? No, 100%. You're a coward. You're not going to say it to my face. That's what's up.
What I'm saying is stand up for the people who voted for you. Vote for a carbon tax election so that Canadians can choose a common sense conservative government that will axe the tax, build the homes, fix the budget, and stop the crime.
I mean, Guilbeault, who's Trudeau's Minister of Energy, he's basically declared war on Alberta, which has the third largest fossil fuel reserves in the world and could provide all of North America with stable energy forever, stable, clean, dictator-free energy forever. Guilbeault announced 3 weeks ago that he was a socialist. It's like, I don't know if you noticed, Steve, baby, we have a socialist party in Canada. It was called the NDP. The Liberal Party were classic Liberals. The socialists were to go in the NDP, but the bloody progressives don't care about that. They lie about everything all the time.
The GDP per capita comparison between Canada and the United States reveals significant disparities. In 2023, Canada's GDP per capita stood at approximately $46,420, while the poorest U.S. state, Mississippi, had a GDP per capita of around $47,500. This means even the least economically prosperous state in the U.S. has a higher GDP per capita than the Canadian average, highlighting a noticeable economic gap.
Do you know that Canadians are now poorer per capita with regard to GDP than people who live in Mississippi? Canada is poorer. The richest province in Canada is poorer than the poorest state in the United States. And that's all happened since Trudeau, all of it. Canada was basically at parity a decade ago, and the Americans are basically 40% ahead. You know, and you can see why, because what happens is that as soon as you're successful anywhere in the world, if you have any sense, you move to the United States. Everything is way easier here, and you don't get hassled as much.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more insightful content. If you could ask Justin Trudeau one question, what would it be? Let us know in the comments.